Hello guys. Let's talk about Drake. When did what did Drake did to Black American community that made them turn their back on him? I don't know what happened. That's why I'm making this video. All right, let's start from the beginning. Drake was in Degrassi. I started watching Degrassi in the early 2000s. I think around he joined Degrassi in 2001. So I started around early 2000. I started watching Degrassi. My cousins then that I was living with in Brooklyn put me onto it. I started watching Degrassi. Drake was a good Jimmy Brooks. I think that's his name on the show. He was a good character. Even I was upset when he got shot and he stabbed in on a wheelchair. So when he transitioned to be a rapper, it took me about a year to remember that it was Drake in Degrassi was the Drake the rapper. I have no idea. I think around 2009, that's when I figured it out. Or late 2008 or something like that. So the reason why I'm making this video is that this guy carried music. He carried this like for almost 20 years. There is no summer that passes by Drake's song is not the song of the summer. One of the songs of the summer at least. For 15 good years. And his journey is some kind of a luck. He just left Degrassi in 2008. Boom, his rap career shoot up right there. He didn't slow down and everything, and he's been busy since then. And what changed? Because I remember the beef he have with the beef between him and Kendrick Lamar. A lot of people, from what I understand, a lot of people see Drake as an outsider. You guys correct me in the comment section. They see him. A lot of Black Americans see him as an outsider. He is not really one of us. He's Canadian. So, and Kendrick Lamar did a good job by letting everybody know that Drake is not one of us. He put it in his song as you guys know already. So I think it resonated. And then with the whole controversy about record label siding with Kendrick against Drake, even hurt Drake even more. But Drake wouldn't have been Drake if not for Black American community giving him stamp of approval around 2008, 2009. I remember coming down, I was coming back somewhere in New York, around 50-something street in Manhattan, heading to Manhattan, 52nd, heading to Manhattan, or heading to Times Square to catch a train on the 42nd Street. That's a line. People, I think either he was going to TRL, which is on MTV, or 106 Park. So people said Drake is coming. It was they were mentioning Drake and what's the other guys that Trey Songs. They were either TRL or 106 Park. So that's when I know this guy is gone. And since then he's been on fire. But what took like Black American community this long to turn their back on him? I want you guys to let me know in the comment section. And when I say Black America turning their back on him, I'm not saying everybody. I know before I make this video, I talked to one of my friends. I said I'm going to make a video about Drake and all that stuff. He said, he explained things from his own perspective. But he said regardless, he still listen to Drake. He still stream his songs and everything. So now my question is, what is the thing that made you guys feel like turning your back on Drake? Because without, as I said in the beginning of this video, with that stamp of approval from Black American community, Drake wouldn't have been Drake. He would have ended there in Degrassi and everything is a rap. He probably doing something else. Because I don't think he would have made it into Hollywood. I don't know. So but musically it was his thing. So and he haven't slowed down. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Drake's career is over. He's still big. One thing about Drake is that his music is very broad. His music style is kind of pop, rap, hip hop mixed together, and his fan base is very broad as well. He doesn't have a specific fan. You can't just say his fan base is 90% of African Americans or Black Americans. No, I saw a couple of shows, not in person but online. A couple of shows he did in the summer, like what in UK, in Canada, Wireless Festival in UK, and then recently, I think a week or two ago, I saw a show he did in Switzerland. So his fan base is solid in terms of globally. Yeah. So where probably he lost a lot of fans here, he might make it up somewhere else. But at the end of the day, I still maintain what I said. If it wasn't the stamp of approval by a Black American community, Drake wouldn't have been Drake, and he wouldn't give us 15 or more years of amazing bangers in the summer hit songs, summer rap songs, summer hip hop songs. I'm not a hip hop guy. From how I'm talking, you guys will know. But one thing I know for sure is that you don't have to be into hip hop to understand that Drake is big. He's huge, musically. So, but what is that thing? In this channel, I can tell stories, then share my opinion about that story. Or sometimes I tell a story and I let you guys decide or tell me in the comment section or share an opinion. So in this case, it's 50-50. I think some people genuinely feel like it comes to Kendrick and Drake, they have to choose side. Drake is not really American, his dad is American, his mom is Canadian, he's Jewish. Let's side with this guy that make activist songs, because let's be honest, the little I know, Drake make party music, even if it's hip hop, but still, he play in the club. I don't see Kendrick music being played in the club. He make protests and protest music, revolutionary, fight the power kind of music. That's what K-Dot does. But when it comes to choose sides, African Americans say, we gotta choose somebody that is more solid to us. I think that's what it is. I might be wrong, so that's why I said, let me know what is the actual thing that made people turn, because this guy he's a big deal, musically. This guy came into around 2009. 2008, 2009, and he's been on fire non-stop until last year. Do you know how long it can be? On average, rappers are lucky if they have 10 years stretch of being on top. But Drake did almost 20 years. Because if you look at from 2008 to 2024, that's 4 more years to make it 20 years. I think I got the math right or wrong, I don't know. But almost 2 decades he's been doing this. So what actually happened? Why did Black Americans feel like, is there more to it? Because I heard a lot of stories. He's a culture vulture. He's not part of the culture. Because normally rappers have to come through that struggle. My mom was on welfare. We are homeless. We struggle with. But Drake he's a middle class, upper middle class dude that haven't suffered in his life, and then dominate the music for almost 20 years. So there's people that are looking at it from that angle as well. They are not saying that he's not talented. One thing I can say from talking to people is that they are not denying that Drake is talented, but at some point he become cocky. There's a lot of things people are throwing out there. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Why do Black Americans turn their back on Drake? The people that give him stamp of approval to be what it is, who he is today. So let me know in the comment section, and let's have a healthy conversation. Drake, as he stands right now, without Black American community, which I think he's part of. I don't know, which I think he's part of. Whether you like it or not, he is Canadian, but his dad is from here. If you look at it, if they didn't give them that stamp of approval, he wouldn't have been Drake that we all know today. So why all of a sudden people are, falling back towards him, share your thoughts in the comment section. I come in peace. Thanks for watching.